Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me closely, because the words you speak to yourself shape your destiny. Every day you're conditioning your mind, feeling either empowering or sabotaging. I'm here to remind you, if you want to live at your highest level, if you want to wake up with fire in your soul, you gotta master the conversation you're having with yourself. So, I want you to look in these things you must tell yourself every single day. When you wake up in the morning, the very first thought that should ignite your mind is this: I am responsible for my life. Too many people go through days they're blaming others, their boss, their parents, their past, even the economy, for why they're not what they want to be. But the moment you point the finger of power, you surrender your power. Responsibility is not about guilt. It's not about shame. It's about shame. When you own every part of your life, you suddenly realize you hold the steering wheel. You can change directions, accelerate, or hit the brakes. You are no longer a passenger tossed around by circumstances. You are the driver. Think about it. Every breakthrough begins the moment someone says, "Enough. This is on me." The only way for someone else to rescue me. I will not wait for perfect conditions. I will not wait for luck. I will create it. That decision flips a switch. Because here's the truth. Life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. And change starts the moment you take ownership. When you say to yourself every day, "I am responsible for my life," it changes how you show up. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop looking for someone else to give you permission. You start acting like the leader of your own destiny. And leadership doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. It means you own them, learn from them, and use them to become stronger. Think about the people who inspire you most. They aren't the ones who had everything handed to them. They're the ones who are from setbacks, feeling her challenges into fuel, who refuse to wait for someone else to write their story for their story. They accept full responsibility for their future. You every day you remind yourself, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. That simple phrase eliminates excuses and opens the door to possibility. The weight of responsibility is not a burden, it's a gift. Because once you claim responsibility, you can claim power. And with that power, you can shape your life into something extraordinary. I am stronger than my excuse. Say that again and let it sink deep into your mind. Excuses are the chains that keep most people stuck where they are. They sound reasonable, they sound logical, but in reality, they are the invisible prison walls we build for ourselves. I'm too tired. I don't have enough time. I don't have that until I'll start tomorrow. Haven't we all heard that little voice whispering these things? That voice is not your truth, it's your limitation talking. And if you listen to your dreams, your goals, your potential remain locked away, waiting for the courage you keep postponing. Every time you accept an excuse, you weaken your own spirit. You reinforce the belief that you're not capable. When you declare every single day, "I am stronger than my excuses," you shift the balance of power. Suddenly, it's not the excuse controlling you, it's you controlling the excuse. You rise above the story that says, "I can't," and you replace it with the story that says, "I will." That one decision changes your focus and ultimately your results. Excuses may sound comforting in the moment. They protect you from the discomfort of effort, the fear of failure, or the risk of being judged. But in the long run, excuses cost you everything: your dreams, your relationships, your freedom. Strength, on the other hand, is built the moment you act in spite of those excuses. The moment you go to the gym when you don't feel like it. The moment you make that call when fear tells you to stay quiet. The moment you keep pushing forward when it would be easier to quit. It's not about never hearing excuses. It's about building the muscle to override them. Every time you choose action over an excuse, you train your brain to trust you, to believe in you, feeling to follow your lead. And before long, that becomes your identity. Someone who doesn't wait, someone who does for perfect conditions, someone who lives out of fear, someone who makes it happen no matter what. So remind yourself daily, you are stronger than your excuses. Because the truth is, your excuses are temporary, but the results of your strength will last a lifetime. Every single one of us faces moments where life knocks us down. We lose a job, a relationship falls apart, a plan we thought was certainly crumbles. In those moments, it's easy to think the universe is against us, that we failed, there's no way forward. But here's the truth: every setback is a setup for a comeback. What feels like an ending is often the beginning of something greater. If you choose to see it that way, the difference between people who stay stuck and those who rise lies in perspective. One person says, was ye, why me, and gives up. Another says, why not me? What can I learn? How can I use this? And that mindset transforms defeat into fuel. Think about it, some of the greatest success stories in history are built on failure. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job. They all had setbacks that could have broken them. But instead, those setbacks became training grounds. They built resilience, hunger, and creativity. And that's exactly what your setbacks are doing for you. When you remind yourself every day that setbacks setups for comebacks, you stop fearing failure. You start embracing it as part of the process. You realize that every obstacle carries with it a lesson, a gift, a new strength that you couldn't develop going through that storm. And the moment you adopt that belief, your energy changes. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, you become fueled by possibility. Life is never about avoiding challenges. It's about mastering how you respond to them. If you let setback define you, you'll live in frustration. But if you let them refine you, you'll live in power. Your setbacks are not the end of your story. They are simply chapters that lead to your greatest breakthroughs. So when life knocks you down, don't stay there. Get up, smile. Tell yourself this isn't the end. This is the training ground for my comeback. Because the truth is, your comeback will not only inspire you, it will inspire everyone around you who sees you rise. If you already have everything you need inside you, think about that for a moment. So many people spending their lives searching for something outside. There's a better job, more money, someone else's timing, the perfect plan. They convince themselves that once they get that one thing, then they'll finally feel ready. Then they'll finally take action. But that belief is an illusion. Because the truth is, greatness is not something you stumble upon out there in the world. It's something you awaken within yourself. Every tool, every ounce of strength, every spark of creativity you'll ever need is already in you right now. The only question is whether you believe it enough to unleash it. You wake up each day and remind yourself, I already have everything I need inside me. You shift from waiting to creating. You stop being the person who says, one day I'll try, and you can become the person who says, today I act. That change in mindset, that trustless hesitation into mindset. You no longer need to wait for confidence to magically appear, because confidence is built by using what you already have, by taking the first step with the tools you've got. Think about a seed planted in the ground. Everything required for that seed to grow into a tree is already inside it. All it needs is the right environment, sunlight, water, feeling, and entirely no different. You've got the seed of greatness within you. You've got talents, strengths, and gifts that maybe you haven't even tapped into yet. The world doesn't need you to go find them somewhere else. It needs you to bring them out from within. The problem is most people let fear, doubt, or comparison bury the seed. They look at others and say, you have something I don't. But that's a lie. The only real difference between people who achieve extraordinary results and those who don't is that achievers trust what's inside them enough to use it. They don't wait to feel ready. They decide they are ready. So remind yourself daily that you don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You need more time. You already have what it takes. The power, the courage, and creativity. It's already in you. And when you truly believe that, you'll stop holding back and start living as the person you were always meant to be.